Hello everybody, this is Adam here with The Game Machine, bringing you videos from a guy who's not the best of video games, but daggone it, I like to have fun with them, and I think we all can have a great time here. Let's get to why I think Final Fantasy XV is my favorite game of this year. Now, I've played a lot of different games this year. I played such things as Doom, I played Fire Emblem, the Wii U game. I can't remember the full name of that game for some reason off the top of my head. It's that one, the one mixed with Shin Megami Tensei, which I really liked. A lot of people hated that one. There were also stingers this year that a lot of people didn't like. Like, I thought Mighty Number 9 was okay, but wasn't that great, and No Man's Sky. More like No Man's Game, am I right? Alright, no, never mind. Why did I pick Final Fantasy XV to be my game of 2016? Well, as the time of this recording, 2016 has done come and gone. The thing I really love about this game is just so much. For one thing, it's way better than Final Fantasy XIII. Now, I apologize to all the people who love Final Fantasy XIII, don't get me wrong. Like, there were good aspects to that game, but man, oh man, I could not finish that game. Didn't care for the battle system, and then also there was a rampant difficulty once I got to the open world portion of it that I wasn't ready and prepared for, and I was just like, forget this game, man. But Final Fantasy XV, no, it's a breath of fresh air, and to me, it's my second favorite Final Fantasy game. That's pretty big, considering there are a lot of Final Fantasy games out there. What did I really like about Final Fantasy XV? It had a really great cast of characters. Gladiolus, Ignis, Prompto, Noctis, Lunafreya, and one of the best villains in all of villaindom, Ardyn Azunia. Oh my gosh, this guy, he's just creepy and charming at the same time. It's like as if you're being hit on by a snail.
What a coincidence.
I'm not so sure it is.
Aren't nursery rhymes curious things? Like this one. From the deep the Archean calls. Yet on deaf ears the god's tongue falls. The king made to kneel in pain, he crawls.
It's the best way I can describe this guy. He just... The person that does a voice for him is great, and he's the best voice actor, I think, in the game. And he also makes a great villain. And the story, while it does have some plot holes here and there, which I hope they do fix with the next patch that they've been talking about, overall, though, it was a really great story about friendship and the challenges of becoming a king and making sacrifices and all kinds of other stuff. Like, there was a lot of serious overtones in the game, but there were also a lot of lighthearted moments that made this feel like a realistic journey. And what a wonderful journey it was to experience. And of course, Final Fantasy being Final Fantasy, the graphics were amazing. Oh my gosh, everything in the open world looks so beautiful. We'll get to the open world in a minute. The character models look great, the vehicle models look great, enemy monster models look great. Cindy and her mechanical outfit looked great. Everything about this game looked great. I'm not talking about her boobs. Really, I'm not. I mean, just everything about this game looks good. The soundtrack, of course, is composed really well. I love the options that you can get to listen to in your car radio of classic Final Fantasy music, but the music that comes in the game that is the official Final Fantasy XV soundtrack is really good. Fits well with everything that goes on in the game, and it's just a treat to hear. It's just an incredible soundtrack. Once I beat the story of a game, I'm kind of done, but with this one, I just kept going back to it over and over again. Just the open world kept drawing me in. I kept wanting to do quests. I kept wanting to interact with the characters in the world, because even the side characters have some personality to them. Now, some of them are a little disjointed, and some of them are pretty much like one note. I just kept wanting to do things in the world because I did not want to escape from this world. This world just was so vast. You can ride chocobos anywhere you want. Random foot soldiers will appear out of nowhere and you gotta fight them. You fight a giant effing turtle the size of a mountain. I mean, holy crap. A turtle the size of a mountain. Dungeons to explore, which are very vast. Some of them are puzzle-like. Magical arms to collect throughout because it's your birthright and you need to go collect them because you're king, and that's what you do as king. You go get swords from your dead ancestors. So tomb robbing, yay. I mean, tomb raiding. There you go. Tomb raiding. That's a popular term kids are using nowadays, right? Tomb raiding. So we got tomb raiding going on here. There's just a lot to love. You can eventually turn your car into a flying car, and yes, I know the car is on rails, but I mean, really, it's not a game where you take the car off-road anyway, so it didn't really bother me that much. It was kind of nice to sit back and look at the world of Final Fantasy and just take those beautiful graphics in, just drink it in. It's so good. Getting to see the summons in such gigantic form. Oh my gosh, it was so great seeing them just pop in. They'll even have effects on the actual environment, whether it be a fire effect, and you use a fire spell when things burn. You got ice effects, which freeze everything, thunder effect, which burns the ground that it hits. Oh my gosh, there's just so much to really love. I really love this game, if you can't tell already. And the action combat system is what I think it needed. Because since they were not going back to the turn-based system of gameplay, which to me is one of the best systems that Final Fantasy was really good at, was its turn-based gameplay. Since they weren't going back to that, I feel like that this has been the best combat system they've implemented. I did not like the Final Fantasy XII system. It felt too much like Final Fantasy XI. I did not like the Final Fantasy XIII combat system at all. So, when Final Fantasy XV came out, I was a little worried at first. I didn't know I was going to play like Kingdom Hearts maybe a little bit. No, it doesn't. It actually is its own thing. And you can even, when you collect those royal arms that I mentioned, it kind of has a limit break where you just summon them all to you at once and do like a really powerful attack with them. And your AI teammates, for the most part, are actually pretty responsive. They're very helpful for the most part, though sometimes they do end up getting themselves killed. It is AI, but there's a lot of things to do and explore in the game as well. A lot of places to go explore. Doing monster hunts is very incredible. Remember the giant turtle thing? Yeah, that's a monster hunt. You get to kill a giant effing turtle. It took me 2 hours. I found a guy on the internet who did it in 8 minutes. It's crazy. 8 minutes. My gosh. Why can't I be that good? But seriously though, overall, Final Fantasy XV, as I said in my review, was one of my favorite games of this year, and it is actually my favorite game of 2016. It's right up there with Doom and the Fire Emblem Shin Megami Tensei crossover that I can't remember the name of. But man, oh man, it was such a good game, and I highly, highly recommend if you have an Xbox One or PS4, pick this game up. Play it right now because you will not regret it. People are falling in love with it all over the place, and it's going to get better with some of the patches and stuff that they're going to do. They're going to add additional stuff to the story mode. They're going to add a new game plus, so there's still going to be more stuff to enjoy in this game. Like I said, I just loved everything in the game, from the story and the characters to the graphics and the music, to the wonderful world, open world gameplay, and great fast-paced action combat that just keeps giving. Guys, like I said, this game is my game of the year 2016. Hands down the best game I played all year. It was the last game I played this year, big new release, but holy hell, it was fantastic and I loved it. So why don't you guys let me know what your 2016 game is down below? Do you agree with me that this game is the best game, or do you think I'm crazy and it should have gone to Doom or something else, which Doom was freaking fantastic. You should play that game too, and that one's getting cheaper, so definitely pick that game up too as well. I will give Doom a plug. Doom is pretty fun. It is just, if you like fun shooters, then you gotta go with that one. Of course, if you want to play a boring shooter, then I couldn't recommend that game. Anyways, enough rambling. Thank you all for watching, and until next time, everybody, game on.